Think positive.
Welcome or welcome back to the Ghoul Ambrose podcast, GA for short. I'm your host, Prince. This is a space for inner work, self-improvement, self-discovery, mindset, accountability, integrity, reflection, and personal development. This podcast is built for growth, for honesty, and for becoming a better version of yourself, one day at a time. New episodes drop every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Today's episode is called, Do You Win in the End? Put aside the process, the work dedicated, the hours, the sacrifices. Do you picture yourself winning? Be real. The path and what you may be working towards can seem so far away, but this is not about visible results. This is about belief in self. There has to be a point where you take pride in what you do and what you see for yourself. The vision, what nobody else sees. Delusional. That is the word that comes to mind when I say that. But is it really delusion? Because in what you do, or what you want to do, why is belief even a question? It should almost feel obvious. Not because everything is already there, physically, but because something in you still sees it. Maybe that's the strange part about vision. How something can feel real mentally before it ever becomes real physically. How the mind can't connect itself to something that has not even happened yet. Maybe that's why belief matters so much. If something was already visible, belief would not even be part of the conversation. A thought that comes to mind, or more so an observation, is how easy it is to support others in what they do. Easy to believe in somebody else's vision. Easy to encourage somebody else to keep going. Easy to remind somebody else not to quit. Easy to tell somebody else they're going to make it. But what about self? Why do questions always linger there? Why does doubt get louder there? Why is it easier to believe in everybody else before believing in yourself? There is nothing wrong with supporting others. There should be more of that. But support for self should exist too. Because eventually, if belief is not there internally, everything externally starts feeling further away too. Honestly, maybe that's where the real tension starts. Physically, nothing may be changing yet, but mentally, everything is constantly moving. The confidence changes, the mindset changes, the belief changes. Over time, if somebody is not careful, doubt slowly starts sounding more realistic than vision. While speaking of this, somebody that comes to mind is Kid Cudi. If you ever get the time to listen to his memoir, I promise it will stay with you. The reason I bring him up is because the confidence and stubbornness connected to his work and craft is beautiful. Honestly, that kind of stubbornness can influence anything somebody does. Everybody needs stubbornness in what they do, especially when nothing around you fully reflects what you see yet. When doubt starts getting louder than belief. When time starts passing and questions start lingering. Eventually staying connected to the vision becomes mental. And that kind of stubbornness is necessary sometimes. Not arrogance, not cockiness. There is a difference. Stubbornness is staying connected to what you see. Arrogance is thinking you're above everybody else. Those are two completely different things. People confuse the two all the time. Because somebody believing deeply in themselves can sometimes look strange to people who do not see the vision. But staying connected to belief is different from looking down on people. Completely different. Maybe that's why being authentic matters so much too. People can hear when somebody genuinely believes in what they are saying. Maybe that's why certain people connect with others so deeply. Not because they appear perfect, but because they stayed honest while carrying the vision. Truth be told, in what you do and what you want to see come out of it. There is nothing selfish about that. That is just the output of it. Maybe people hear the word win and automatically attach ego to it sometimes, but winning can mean a lot of different things. It does not always mean status. It does not always mean money. Sometimes it's deeper than that. Sometimes it's peace mentally. Sometimes it's freedom. Sometimes it is finally feeling connected to yourself again. And to be honest, there's nothing wrong with wanting something meaningful to come from what you dedicate yourself to. What is a win for you? For some, that may look like platforms, income, peace mentally, freedom, or my favorite, to inspire. Whatever that looks like. Maybe that's why visions look different through everybody's eyes, because everybody attaches different meaning to fulfillment, different meaning to success, different meaning to purpose. Maybe that's why comparison becomes dangerous too, because somebody else's version of winning may have nothing to do with yours. One of the most interesting parts about all of this is how somebody can picture something before physically having it. How can the mind see something so clearly before it is even in your possession yet? How can somebody emotionally connect to a future that still does not physically exist? Does it already look good mentally? Feel good mentally? Or has there not been a change in mindset yet to even fully view it like that? Because eventually the mindset has to change before reality does. Maybe that is where belief really begins. Not when everything becomes visible, but when the vision still feels real, even before it physically exists. Because if somebody loses connection mentally first, eventually everything externally starts feeling impossible too. Maybe that is the real fight connected to all of this. Not the work, not the sacrifices, the mental side of it, the waiting, the uncertainty, the tension between belief and doubt. And now, bring the process back into it. The work dedicated, the hours, the sacrifices, the waiting, the uncertainty. Do you picture yourself winning in the end? I hope you found something worth taking with you today. Maybe a new perspective, maybe a moment to pause and reflect. Thank you for being here and sharing this space with me. Your presence matters. If this resonated with you, share it with someone you care about, because growth spreads through connection. I'll see you next time. Take care of yourself. Stay grounded. And as always, be safe.